Jesus is both the physician and the prescription. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Sabbath School Study Group here on the road at Southwestern Adventist University in Texas. Grateful for this third part of the study because we're continuing our journey into the signs of Jesus' divinity. And he says outright in John chapter 9 who he is. And that is a divine reality, but it's also a divine deliverance that he offers us. Before we look at him as the light and what that means to us, I want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Do us a favor. Hit the like button so others can find this story. And don't forget, pass it on to someone else. We don't do social media. We depend on you to be social, and we encourage you even to go check us out online. That's at changeministry.org. You're going to see a prophecy study. You're going to see a revelation study. All that is there for us to encourage us in our future because God is faithful. How do I know he's going to be faithful tomorrow? Because he's faithful today. Blindness, I know growing up, and I always perceived blindness, and if the eye was able to then be opened enough that then the person could see. But ultimately, the only reason why we can see is because not just that our eye is open, but there's light hitting the eye. And if there's any mystery to that, and you can have perfectly good eyes, you can have eyes wide open, but go into a room, close all the doors and black out all the windows and turn off the lights. Perfectly good eyes, but useless because darkness cannot be overcome even with perfect sight. This is letting us know that the darkness that we are in, literally and spiritually, can only be broken by the revelation or the illumination of light. This is why Jesus says what he says while he is healing a blind man in John 9. He says in John 9 verse 5, "As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world." He says, as long as I'm here. So that's the doctor's side. That's the physician's side of him speaking, that I can fix stuff. But he's not just saying I can fix stuff, but he's saying I'm the fixer. I am the light. I am the prescription and the physician. I am the light of the world that is able now to shine on your eyes, to shine on your mind, and to bring divine revelation and to reveal the glory of God. No one else can say that. All the rest of us say that we are a light, but only Jesus can say he is the light. So now follow it up in what he goes on to say. It says, "And when he had thus spoken," in verse 6, "he spat on the ground, he made clay of the spittle, and he anointed." Please note, he anoints the eyes of the blind man with the clay. "And he said unto him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way, therefore, and he washed, and he came seeing." Jesus took dirt and spit and made a man see. Now, again, he's using the very things that he points to himself being all throughout Scripture. He starts by saying, "I'm the light of the world," which the man sees. But then he takes dirt. Dirt is simply what rocks are made of. And he says, "I am that rock." But then he goes and takes spittle. And then in other places he said, "I'm the water of life." Even the brother went to the pool. It was with water that he washes his face. So all of these different metaphors for Jesus, he's the one that's operating. He's the one that's healing. He's the physician, but he's also the prescription. He is the light of the world. What are we saying? We're trying to get to the point to where we have to recognize that knowledge, information, data, input, those things offer illumination. They help us to understand. They show us ways to go. But there is only one source of light, and this light is the only one that can break the blindness of sin. So remember, the whole point of this study is to recognize the divinity of Christ. Look at how Jesus is revealed in relationship to his Father, being sent from God to us, where we see it being said of him, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising." Now, when we read Isaiah 60, there is this dual application that we could walk away with, to where we recognize that this was a prophecy of God pouring out his presence on his people, where he designed and he's delivered Israel, past and present. He saved us, to show somebody else the way to salvation. And he shines on us so that all the light that you see in me, all the light that we see in our lives, it's reflected light. It's light that's coming from the light. So in the same way, Jesus' ministry, he is sent by God to lighten the world. He's come to shine a light as a way for us to get back to where we belong. And that's back in the fellowship with God. He is that bridge. He is that paraclete. He is that Passover so that we have a way out of darkness and into light. That's why it's no surprise that the devil would try to raise up a counter light by calling it the Illuminati. Those who consider themselves illumined, whether it's through one eye or the power of symbolism, that idea that man can light man's way is a lie. Because how can the blind lead the blind? Or even the less blind leading the more blind? You still got blindness. So don't just believe in the light, obey the light. Follow the light. Trust Jesus. Remember, Lucifer was a light bearer, but Jesus is the light. Period.